Oh, it's freaking crazy. So, as you know, I love Chainsaw Man. Literally my favorite show of all time. Matter of fact, I spent a ridiculous amount of money on this figure, this Makima figure that is very beautiful and that I very much love because I love the show so incredibly much. It's my favorite anime of all time. Nothing compares. Now, of course, when there's something regarding the manga, which comes out regularly, I'm one of the first people to usually know about it. And I was one of the first to know about chapter 167. Holy crap, is it freaking crazy, bro. Chainsaw Man is pretty notorious for having like crazy moments. You know, there's like the example of like Himeno freaking vomiting in Denji's mouth when they were out to eat. What followed up after that in Himeno's apartment, Denji grabbing Makima's boobas. Chainsaw Man is notorious for having like these crazy unfiltered degenerate scenes. Like they're shock value and they do really good at it. Fujimoto is really good at it. But this new scene is a whole new level of shock value. Matter of fact, the shock value is so incredibly bad, I don't even know if I can show the imaging on screen. To be completely fair, like I can't really blame for Fujimoto to make something as crazy as this, considering some of the other projects he's done, like Fire Punch, where he literally had like an incestual relationship between a brother and a sister. Bro spends the rest of his life burning for eternity and getting revenge. Also, Fujimoto, for some reason, uploading a random video to the internet of him trying to fly, and it's just him jumping in the air and falling on the ground. Huh? But we love him because he makes awesome stories. If you're wondering, in the newest chapter of 167 of Chainsaw Man, essentially what happened was Denji had kind of sparked the idea of like having his thing cut off because of the War Devil wanting to essentially fight and kill Chainsaw Man. That's the whole the whole point of part 2 of Chainsaw Man. The War Devil that resides within Asa Mitaka is trying to get revenge on Chainsaw Man, and it's kind of hard because Denji kind of refuses to change into Chainsaw Man, and it becomes a whole ordeal where Denji just kind of loses his motivation to do it and doesn't really care for it anymore. The only solution, for some reason, the War Devil could think of is just... She goes for it. She just straight up goes for it. Denji tries holding it back. He's like, hey, wait a second, I was joking. Like, I'm not actually serious about this. And she just like grips on that thing. She just... I assume you guys can do without the sound effects, but this is good for storytelling. And is prepared to just take it off, but then as soon as she does that, because Mitaka and the War Devil share a body, she has an instant flashback to when Asa, Mitaka, and Denji had kissed. And there's kind of a romantic tension throughout the entire part of part 2. Asa kind of comes back midway through, and instead of being like, holy crap, what am I doing here with Denji? What's going on? She just kind of is like, might as well finish it. There was some finishing, bro. I can't show this on screen. How do I put this? It's all blurred. It's gonna be blurred. So essentially, after Denji had baby chowdered on her hand, we're now left in a predicament where what the frick is going on? What is going on with this series? Now, I'm going to be completely fair with you. A lot of people are really complaining about this. They're like, this is too far. This is too crazy. Chainsaw Man is taking it too far. It's gone too sexualized and it's too weird. Bro, you are watching a series about a teenage boy who spends his entire life essentially going around transforming into a devil, killing other devils, constantly being horny and chasing after any female that moves, and you're complaining because he got like a handy in an alleyway? Like, really? In my opinion, I don't see it that crazy, especially considering other shows like JJK literally have straight up like incest. So, and that didn't get much airtime when people talked about it. No one's talking about that the same way they're talking about Chainsaw Man. And I would have thought that Chainsaw Man would have been different because JJK is not there for the shock value. It's good for the good animation, pretty decent story, and fun fighting. Chainsaw Man is just there because it exists. It's essentially always been a shock value anime, and manga, and that's what people really love and enjoy about it. And Fujimoto tells the story in a beautiful way where it's like, yeah, there are crazy things that are happening, things that you won't usually see in cinema, things that are totally inappropriate for the majority of people to be seeing. And if you're under the age of 18, you should not be watching this video, just letting you know. And there's death, and there is absolutely no plot armor ever in Chainsaw Man. Somehow, even though all this randomness is completely unorthodox to a lot of cinema and a lot of modern art and media, it works so well because it's funny and the characters are fun to follow along with. And I think that's why Chainsaw Man really blew up, is because it's really its own unique story. And it's really crazy how Fujimoto somehow implements some of the most crazy and ridiculous scenes in his manga and somehow still gets away with it. How is this dude getting away with this? It's literally his first manga he submitted to Shonen Jump, the most popular probably manga publisher or article publisher out in Japan, was about a brother and a sister who literally had a loving romantic relationship. Basically, watch his entire family die and will be burning for the rest of his life. A lot of people are actually complaining about part 2, and honestly, I think this might be the shock value part 2 needs, because as it stands, the story has been completely bland. And I say this in the respect of, like, Denji has, like, completely ignored the fact that all the people who died before him, like, don't exist anymore. Literally only, like, 3 or 4 people survive at the end of part 1, and bro's gonna act like none of that happens. The only time we ever hear about it is when he's fighting the Gravity Devil, and he gets reminded of it for, like, a split second, and then never talks about it again. So a lot of people are confused and upset with how Chainsaw Man is going and what direction it goes in. I still think that, spoiler alert, the promise that Chainsaw Man or Denji made to Power to find her again should be something at the top of his priority list. But at the same time, he also has a deranged little girl that he has to find. She's lost and she's crazy. She takes after her mother, quote unquote. I honestly feel like the story has kind of gone off course, but in my opinion, I don't see that this chapter 167 is as bad as what people are making out to be. Chainsaw Man has been known for shock value. This is not anything special or new or unique to the show. It might have taken it a step further, like I said before, but honestly, it really isn't that bad. What are your opinions on chapter 167? Do you think it was too much? I literally can't show it on screen, so as far as I'm aware. So it might have gone a little too far. Personally, I don't think it's that bad, but you know, I'm also deranged and mentally unhealthy. So to each their own. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you.